So, as we get ready to close out 2022, I am relieved to be back home in Phoenix, Arizona, which I identify as home a lot more so than Seattle. Not as much as the Rocky Mountains. I do still hope to move to Wallace, Idaho, once I have everything in place. But Phoenix is a good compromise. But I spent most of this year looking for part of the reason I moved back here was I was working somewhere else where I felt like I couldn't treat my coworkers as almost like a family, and I spent the whole year looking for a workplace where coworkers could be like friends and family. I've kind of given up on that, and let me explain why. Last Christmas season, I had an upset at work. And I don't know if it's because if I was at fault or not. The whole dynamics of it were just awkward. A lot of times at work, I'm the only employee there who has a very different family structure. I don't get along with my parents. My parents have more or less disowned me for not wanting to have children. And at the same time, I don't want to start a family myself. So I'm really a family of one. I'm one of the only people at a lot of offices like that. Most people are at least married, have children, or they're still in their younger phases in life where they still get along with their parents, right? Christmas is all about going home to parents. I'm neither one of those. And people sometimes treat me like an alien from outer space, almost. So I was working at the university and also a tutoring center. At the university, I would often, if they needed to lay off one person for the quarter or something, or we had monthly courses, right? People assume that I would be the best suited to that because, oh my God, you don't have a family. If you need to move out to your car again, right? Right now I'm in between two leases and in my car for a couple of days, which I like because I want to explore a little bit anyway. But I used to spend months and months and months in my car, right, at a time, especially during the summertime. And people just thought that I could be the one to handle it because I don't have family. Yeah, I can handle it. I don't prefer it. I mean, I sometimes say I prefer it because I need to handle other things, right? But on an absolute sense, no, of course I don't prefer living out of my car. And, but people, and then at the tutoring center, I got similar kind of treatment. I got the oddest hours. I'm still dealing with that. I'll get to that in a second. I'm still dealing with that. But last year, I was the only one to stay behind during the week of Thanksgiving, which is always frustrating because just like everybody else, I like to take a week off from time to time. But because other people have family, they take the Christmas, Thanksgiving weeks off, which is fine with me. I don't have any special feelings toward Christmas. I'm not religious. I mean, I understand what Thanksgiving is. It doesn't have to happen in the week of November for me. That's fine. What's really frustrating is that those are the most uncertain weeks of the year, and my colleagues get to take them off, and they say to me, "Yeah, screw it," right? I often feel like I'm a slave to these people, the other colleagues, not to my boss, but to these colleagues. I have to work the undesirable hours, the most undesirable shifts, so that these people can tend to their family, their children. I have hobbies myself too. And then I went to another tutoring center over in Seattle earlier this year. And while he did accept me for who I was, I felt there was a little bit of reverse prejudice. He's Korean. I was the only tutor there who was Asian. And so my first day on the job, I had a very bad, heart-pounding kind of situation. What had happened was one of my colleagues, she's in her mid-30s as well, and she introduces herself, and I'm like, oh no, I hope she's not like attracted to me or something. See, I had another problem at the first tutoring center that I was there in Seattle. I had a 18, 19-year-old girl who was trying to hit on me, and when I didn't reciprocate, I think she it added to the position in her mind. He could take all these odd shifts, right? She didn't say it out loud, obviously. I could sense the that she was upset, and so now I'm at this new tutoring center. The first day, my colleague introduces herself to me, and she's boasting about her experiences and all that in life. And then finally she brings up what her husband does for a living. When she said the word husband, I just breathed a huge sigh of relief. Like, at least I'm not having to deal with this. Although I have no idea how she and her husband, or maybe she's unhappy in the marriage or something like that. It just gave me a lot of concern. And that's what I meant, that you really don't have a whole lot of friends in the workplace. The dynamics are just too tricky for any of that. And I'm really happy for myself, though, because 2 days ago something happened. See, I have a very tight schedule, and to top it off, a lot of times there's not a whole lot of time to eat. There's not a lot of time in between the students I have a lot of gig work going on to check my messages and all that. Yesterday, I get to the office about 15 minutes early, and after I prepare all the students, they have little progress report binders, and they have information that's in an iPad, and I get out the 3 iPads and log into them, and I got like 10 minutes to myself. And I turn on my own personal computer to program something, and my boss just wants to chit-chat. And I tell him, I say, excuse me, but I'm off the clock now, and I really have things I need to get to. It's been a hectic month for me. And then, to my surprise, he excuses himself and walks away. And I'm just so pleased at myself. I don't like the look. On top of the fact that my schedule is already very tight, I really despise the chit-chats because I have a tendency to say the wrong thing. It's kind of like anything you say can be used against you, right? It really feels like that when I talk to the boss. I'd rather not say anything because I have a tendency to make mistakes in accidentally giving out my political view, in giving out personal info that he can use against me, like the fact that I'm solosexual. He knows I'm solosexual, but he doesn't need to know every little detail of it, right? And it wasn't so much that I needed to get to my computer game. It was I wanted to avoid that kind of drama. And so he walks away, and I may have dodged a bullet. Who knows, right? But unfortunately, there was another situation that I'm really pleased to have handled. I was asking him, well, what do you think about the Christmas schedule? Oh, I don't know. You realize that plane tickets get more expensive to book as we get I put this in an email, actually. Because plane tickets get so much more expensive to book as you get closer to the deadline, if I don't hear anything by... And I put December 13th because December 13th is Taylor Swift's birthday. And in my mind, it's break up with a toxic relationship day. And so if I don't hear anything by December 13th, I'm going to plan my trip accordingly. And he still didn't respond to that. He's got a few more days now. But I'm so pleased that I sent out that email. Because I in the past, I wanted to befriend everybody at the workplace, and it never went very well. And I've learned to treat it more like a business dealing, right? It's just like if I go to a car dealer, right? Or a coin dealer, or even a drug dealer on the street, right? If I could do it this way. Do you want the deal or not, right?